Hi, Kevin here. This morning we're going to fix some Kaiser rolls. Now, I made the same recipe yesterday and the rolls came out just perfectly. So they have this beautiful braid-like top. All right, let's get started. Now, I'm going to make the dough in my stand mixer, but you could absolutely mix and knead this dough entirely by hand. All right, so what I have here is 1 cup of warm water. That's around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Then add 2 1/4 teaspoons of either instant yeast or active dry yeast. This is active dry. And if you know your yeast is good, you absolutely do not need to proof it first. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Give that a whisk. Then I'm going to add 1 large egg at room temperature and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And 3 tablespoons of melted butter. This is unsalted butter, but you could certainly use salted butter if that's what you have on hand. Break up the yolk, whisk everything together, and then let me clear the decks real quick and we'll add the flour. All right, so what I have here is 3 1/2 cups of bread flour. You could use all-purpose flour if you like. And 3 1/2 cups weighs 16 ounces. And if your flour weighs 17 ounces or 17.4 ounces, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to be exact. And I'm adding just half of the flour at first. And just mix it in with a spoon or a spatula, just to moisten the flour. And then stir in the remaining flour. And you will not need any additional flour for this recipe. We're just stirring this to moisten the flour and give it a little head start. Okay. Grab a knife so I can clean off the spatula. There we are. Then bring my mixer over here so you can see. So my mixer is outfitted with the dough hook. What I'm going to do is knead the dough for about 7 minutes. At low to medium speed. Okay, and we'll come back when this is kneaded. All right, we're all kneaded now. That was 7 minutes in total. I actually kneaded the dough with the dough hook for about 2 minutes, and then I shut off the machine, let the dough rest for 2 minutes, and then I continued kneading for another 5 minutes. So 7 minutes in total. And so now what I'm going to do is scrape the dough out of the bowl and make a lot of noise. There it is. Gorgeous dough. And it's not at all sticky. And what you want to do is just form the dough into a rough ball. Look how smooth this is. And then put the dough in a greased bowl. And I just grease my bowl with some non-stick vegetable spray. Drop it in, flip it to grease the other side, and then grab some cling film. Cover the bowl, and then put this in a warm location and let the dough double in volume, or at least come close to double in volume. And that's going to take about 90 minutes. So we'll come back when this dough is ready. All right, here's the dough, which has pretty much doubled in volume. Remove the cling film. Then, going to deflate the dough. And I want to weigh this because I'm going to cut this into 8 equal pieces. So I have my scale here. And I have a piece of wax paper on the scale. We're going to do grams. Okay, so we have 842 grams. Now hold on while I get out my calculator and do some math. All right, that worked out to about 105 grams for each roll. And I did weigh them out off camera. Let me ditch the scale. Okay, and then we're ready to form the rolls. And that bell sound you hear is my computer alerting me every time someone posts a comment on my YouTube channel. And as I've mentioned before, I love to receive comments. Okay, so what I'm doing is just patting out each roll into a rough rectangle, and then I better zoom in because I want you to really see how to do this. Then you fold the dough as if you were folding a business letter. So you fold the dough into thirds. Okay, and then starting in the middle, you want to roll this out into a rope. And the rope should be at least 12 inches long. I actually like to go a little longer than 12 inches. Then, now I hope you can see, make a knot, just like this. And then, so you have one piece that's under and one piece overhang. So you have one piece, you have one piece overhanging under the knot and one piece on top. And you want to take the one that's underneath and bring it up and press it into the center of the roll, and then take the other overhanging piece and go under and just pinch at the center like this. And then put the rolls on a baking sheet. I lined my baking sheet with parchment paper, but you could put yours on a lightly greased baking sheet if you don't want to use parchment. Okay, I'll do one more of these rolls. So pat it into a rough rectangle and fold it as if you were folding a business letter. And then roll it with the palms of your hands into a rope that is at least 12 inches long. These are actually fun to make, especially if you're not filming a video. Okay, here we go. Make the knot like that. Take the under overhang, that's an odd expression, and bring it to the center, and take the other overhanging piece and bring it underneath, and then push at the center. Let me give you a close-up. Okay. Now I will do one more, and feel free to just fast forward this video if you already have the hang of this. So, rough rectangle. You don't have to be perfect here. Everything will work out just fine. That's the nice thing about bread making. The ingredients don't have to be exact, and the bread always turns out really well. I mean, it's delicious, even if everything seems to go wrong. Here's the knot. Okay, then bring this piece under and pinch it at the center. Bring this piece over and pinch at the center. I wish I had described matters this way from the very beginning. Okay, I'm going to finish forming these rolls and then I'll come back. Okay, last roll. Pat the dough into a rough rectangle. Fold it in thirds as if you were folding a business letter. Use the palms of your hands to form a rope. And again, that rope should be at least 12 inches long. I tend to go probably to 13 or 14 inches. Make just a common knot, like that, and then bring the top overhang underneath, pinch at the center, bring the bottom overhang over the top, and pinch at the center. All right, the rolls are formed. And let me show you how I've arranged them. So I do the same thing with hamburger buns. So you want to zigzag the rolls so there's some space between them. And then, of course, as they rise in the oven, they generally touch each other, and that's exactly what you want. So now cover this just loosely with cling film. And then put the baking sheet in a warm location until the rolls have doubled. And that's going to take about 30 minutes. We'll come back. Also, preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we'll be back. All right, the rolls have all filled out. That only took 30 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is paint them with an egg wash. So this is just 1 egg beaten with 1 teaspoon of water. Now I know that King Arthur and some other places sell a Kaiser roll stamp. It's a little plastic device that has, I think, 5 blades on it. And what you do is just form, common rolls. And then you take the stamp and you push down. I read reviews on that stamp, and some people said it worked and some people said they had trouble with it. So I much prefer to just do this little roping technique. Okay, well, I will finish egg washing these rolls and then I'll come right back. Okay, I finished brushing the rolls with the egg wash, so now for the finishing touch I'm going to dress them with some poppy seeds. I think poppy seeds are traditional for Kaiser rolls. Speaking of Kaiser rolls, if you live in Germany, I think that's where Kaiser rolls are from, although I'm really not sure. They might be Bavarian, I don't know. let me know if this recipe is similar to one that you use. Did that make any sense? Yeah. If you are from the land of Kaiser rolls, let me know if you have a special recipe for Kaiser rolls. How's that? Okay. I think that's enough poppy seeds, or maybe just a few more on this roll. Okay, and then these go into the preheated 375 degree oven until they are golden brown on top. That's going to take 15 to 17 minutes. We'll come back when these rolls are done. And here are the rolls straight out of the oven. I'm going to let them cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes, and then I will transfer them to a wire rack. All right, as you can imagine, my kitchen smells very inviting right now. Now, these rolls are still too hot to cut into, but I wanted to show you the interior. So I have a roll here that I made yesterday. So let's cut into this using a serrated knife here. There it is. Gorgeous crumb. And just a little taste. I'll just pull off a piece. Yeah, really delicious. And of course, I ate a few of these rolls already, okay? So good. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to cast caution to the wind and pull off a piece of one of these rolls that are still warm. Because there's nothing better than warm, freshly baked bread, right? This is heaven. Well, I hope you will give these Kaiser rolls a try someday. Honestly, they're really not hard to make. And again, if you have your own recipe for Kaiser rolls, I hope you'll share it in the comment section below, because I might like to try your recipe. Meanwhile, I will post the list of ingredients for my version of Kaiser rolls in the description box below. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.